Namo Buddhaya, meritorious children. Welcome to the Mirror of Dhamma program. So today, before we start the program, before we start going for a sermon, let's observe the 5 precepts, and we are going to chant a new poem today. This is about the Asala full moon Poya day, the importance of the Asala full moon Poya day. So first of all, let's go for refuge to Buddha Dhamma Sangha, observe 5 precepts and chant this wonderful kavi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Dutiyampi sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Tatiyampi sanghaṃ saranang gacchāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. To observe the 5 precepts, say after me. I observe the precept of abstaining from killing beings. I observe the precept of abstaining from stealing. I observe the precept of abstaining from sexual misconduct. I observe the precept of abstaining from telling lies. I observe the precept of abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs. I follow these precepts for happiness in this life, for rebirth in heaven, and to realize the 4 noble truths. In this Gautama Buddha's dispensation, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear children, now let's chant a nice poem done by Avalokha Swamin Wahanse. So when I chant this in Sinhala, in the screen you will see the Sinhala chanting. You can read, you can follow after me, you can follow the verses I chant, with the help of the English character and with the English meaning. So say after me. Asala sande sanda eliyen Migadayama babalanne Damsak handa patirena vita Sudu budu ras vihidenne Apage gautama munidun Daham sakai perlanne Yalit warak tun loketa E eliyai patirenne Devlova deviyo satutin Sadukara diyenne Mulu lova kampa karamin Sadham handa patirenne Paswaga mahanun satutin Savanyoma sitiminne Chaturarya satyaya daka Nivan magata basaganne Damsak pavatum desumai Migadayen rav denne Muwa pawan ten tenwala Nihandava kandi inne Sili sili nada digasnwal Mada sulagin nelavenne Yalit warak tun loketa Siri sadham patirenne Jivitaye tibena siyalu Deya lova vanasiyanne Wasageta gannata bahaya Anatma bhava danaganne Anatta lakkana desumai Buddhu samidun pavasanne Paswaga mahanun mehidi Rahat bhavata patwanne Jivitaye sapa soyamin Yasa kumarun mehiyenne Samma sambuddhu samidun Ohuta sapata penwanne Amanivan sapa soyamin Dev minisun rakwanne Me gautama buddhu sasune නිවන් සුවය ලැබගන්නේ සිහින සැබෑවිය අපගේ බුදු සමිඳුන් සිහිවන්නේ චතුරාර්ය සත්‍යය ගැන දැන් අපි ටික ටික දන්නේ සදහම් දකිනා විටයේ බුදු සමිඳුන් දැකගන්නේ මේ බුදු සසුනේහිම අපිත් සසරින් එතරට යන්නේ මේ බුදු සසුනේහිම අපිත් සසරින් එතරට යන්නේ මේ බුදු සසුනේහිම අපිත් සසරින් එතරට යන්නේ සාදු සාදු sadhu. So as a veneration for the Asala full moon Poya day, we chanted this poem. So now let's get ready to listen to a Dhamma Sermon. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Dear children, you are joining with the Mirror of Dhamma program to learn the Buddha's teachings. So today we are going to learn a method to keep your mind always in a wholesome state. And even when you meditate, your mind gets distracted. When we spread loving kindness, sometimes our mind goes to school, we remember our friends, then the video games that we have played, those video games will come to our mind. We will remember what we have done sometimes many years ago. So that undeveloped mind will not help us to meditate us peacefully. If we can't meditate peacefully, we can never have happiness properly. We can never gain happiness through a spiritual way. So the material happiness will not last forever. The happiness that you get from food, the happiness that you get by seeing beautiful places, the happiness you get by sleeping, the happiness you get by playing with your friends, that happiness will not last. That happiness will change always. Then the happiness you get by playing sports, by winning, will not last. When you win, someone will lose. So remember, when you win, you will make enemies also. So the ones who win will get intoxicated. The ones who lose will get angry at you. So just winning in games and sports will not let us to live happily day and night. But a mind that is free from lust, anger and delusion will help us, will lead us to live happily day and night and until we die. So let us learn a wonderful sermon. The name of this sermon is Vitakka Santana Sutta. This is one of the sermons that I have promised to teach you all. So Kyle Putta helped me last night to remind this sutta to teach you all. So let's pay homage to the Buddha 3 times and learn this sermon. The sermon, the removal of distracting thoughts. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya. Dear children, if we are unable to abandon our bad thoughts and our bad habits, we will be continuing doing those bad habits, and then we will continue remembering and thinking all those evil thoughts that come to our mind. We will think all those evil thoughts again and again. So that will not help us to live in harmony with your friends and with your parents, and also lead a good life. So to lead a good life, we should learn to manage our mind. We should learn to manage the mind and manage our thoughts. If we can manage our thoughts, we can manage our happiness. So now imagine you are meditating. Right now you are meditating. Imagine you are spreading loving kindness. Just think, when you are thinking, may I be free from anger, may I be free from ill will, may I be free from jealousy, may I be free from mental suffering, may I be free from physical suffering. So when you are uttering these verses, all of a sudden you might go to somewhere else. You might start thinking about a restaurant. You might start thinking about a lake or a river or a waterfall, or else maybe a car game. Then the time that you should spend time in gaining merit, you will be spending time by gaining a bad merit. Now sometimes when you go to meditation, when you spare some time, sometimes you would spare some time and separate some time for meditation. But even when you are meditating, you might be thinking that are not related to meditation. Is it worth? Won't we lose the time that we should dedicate to gain wholesome deeds? Sometimes when you go to a stupa, even after going to a shrine, even after going to a temple, you might be thinking unnecessary things, the school work and other things. So when we are doing something wholesome, that time, the time that we found, the time that we allocated with great difficulty, we shouldn't lose that time. We shouldn't misuse that time. Now we all know how much difficult it is, how difficult it is to find time for meditation, how difficult it is for us to find time to read a Dhamma book, and how difficult it is to find time to listen to a Dhamma sermon. So after finding time, after allocating a good time with a great difficulty, even at that time, if our mind is running here and there, what would happen to us children? When are we going to learn Dhamma? When will our minds will get enriched with the Supreme Buddha's teachings? So today, learn this sutta, and this sutta that you are learning, this Vitakka Santana Sutta, you can practice every day. This sutta will help you to practice each and every moment you are living until you die. Each and every moment that you spend, each and every second that you spend, each and every minute you spend, you will use this sutta. So this sutta is managing your thoughts. Now imagine, if any thought arises in your mind that is related to lust, hatred or delusion. Lust means any thoughts related to attachments. Then any thoughts related to hatred. Then any thoughts related to unawareness of life. Thinking, what would happen to me after I die? Where did my grandparents were born? And some children, they are not concerned about a next life. They only think about this life and they behave. So such thoughts are related to delusion. Not knowing about the samsara very well. So if you have done good deeds, you don't have to worry about samsara. You don't have to worry about next birth. If you have done good deeds, if you know about becoming a stream entrant, if you know about divine worlds, then you are not covered with delusion. If you are aware of samsara, if you are aware of karma, if you are aware of 5 precepts, if you are aware of Buddhas, if you are aware of the Buddha's teachings, if you are aware of the Sangha, if you are aware of how things work as really they are, if you are aware of the animal world, if you are aware of the ghost world, then you will correct yourself. You won't do things that will lead to be born in a ghost world or in an animal world. If you know the reason to become rich, if you know the reason to become poor, if you know the reason to become beautiful, if you know the reason to become ugly, then you will know how to lead to a good life. And also if you know the way to become wise and the way that lead to become foolish, then you will abandon those bad destinations and bad behaviors and bad places that you could lead and you will lead to a good place. So for us to lead to a good place, we should always handle the thoughts. So if any thought arise related to lust, anger and delusion, we should abandon them immediately. We should abandon them immediately. Children, I want you all to do another homework in today's Dhamma program. You will get 2 homeworks. So one homework is write down unwholesome thoughts. I want to find out whether you all are aware of unwholesome thoughts. So try to categorize these thoughts. Try to categorize the thoughts that are related to lust, related to hatred, and related to delusion. Imagine your sibling has taken away your eraser. Then you think, my sibling took this. How can he take this without my permission? So when you think those thoughts, what happens to your anger? Anger will increase. Imagine your parents called you in front of your friends. Then you think, why did my parents call me in front of my friends? They shouldn't do that. I will not eat today. I will not do Buddha Puja today. What are those thoughts? Thoughts related to hatred. So then you pass by a restaurant. Then you see some delicious food. Then, when I can eat, my parents will never take me to that restaurant. You will keep on thinking about that food. Any food, won't it get rotten? The moment you touch food, children, the moment you touch food, the food will turn into a disgusting nature. The moment you take food to the mouth, the food will mix with saliva and it will turn to a disgusting nature. For that, we are thinking for days and weeks to eat food. So don't maintain thoughts that are related to lust, hatred and delusion. So as for homework, write some thoughts and send us to know whether you all know these thoughts. And then write thoughts that are not related to lust, hatred and delusion. Then I can share with the other children. So then a lot of children will learn about good and bad. So Buddha preaches, if any of these thoughts arise in your mind while you are meditating, or while you are walking, or while you are seated, while you are standing, while you are lying down, then what should we do? If any bad thought come to our mind, immediately we should start thinking something unwholesome. You can think of the Buddha, you can think of any good things done by other people, you can think of the good deeds you have done. Then what happens? You will forget that bad thought, and then you will again maintain a good, wholesome state in the mind. Then you can live happily, then you can sleep properly. Sometimes some children and some parents, they can't sleep properly because there are a lot of bad thoughts in their mind. So before you go to sleep, when you are going to sleep, when you are about to sleep, if you are having difficulty sleeping, you can spread loving kindness. So when you spread loving kindness, you will go to sleep peacefully. So Buddha gave a simile for this. The way to give up that bad thought and to take a wholesome thought, Buddha said this simile. Just as a skilled carpenter or his apprentice might knock out, remove or extract a coarse peg by means of a fine one, so too when a bhikkhu gives attention to some other sign connected what is wholesome, his mind becomes steadied internally and quieted, brought to singleness and concentrated. It's like, imagine there's a nail hit to a plank of wood, to a wooden plank. Then what happens? If you want to remove that nail, you can take another nail and keep on top of that nail and hit to the nail on top. And then what happens? The other nail will come out. Do you understand? Okay. If you can understand this simile, you can draw and send to us. The small kids can draw this simile. Hitting from one nail to another nail to take out the other nail. Like that, you should remove the bad thought with a good thought. Try to practice this at home. This technique of removing bad thoughts. It's amazing, children. Wonderful. Then when you do this, unknowingly, children, you are behaving as disciples of a Supreme Buddha. You are living the lives of great Arahants. You are doing what Arahants did. So the second method, now even if you try to think of a wholesome thought, yet bad thoughts might come to your mind. Like from a water stream, water comes out, bad thoughts might appear in your mind. Then what should you do? Buddha taught the second method. The second method is you can think the danger. You can examine the danger of thinking bad thoughts. So if you die while you are thinking bad thoughts, what would happen to us? Our rebirth could be in a bad place. And when you are maintaining bad thoughts, the danger is you can get angry and throw things, break things, stare and glare at your parents. You can scold your parents. So don't maintain bad thoughts, because immediately when you get angry after maintaining bad thoughts, you might scold others. You might fight with others. You might quarrel with others. So that's the danger of maintaining bad thoughts. So when you understand, when you think of the danger of maintaining bad thoughts, then when you think of the danger of recollecting bad thoughts, then immediately the bad thoughts will get abandoned. That's the second way. Well, Buddha gave a simile for this. It's like this. Buddha preaches, just as a man or a woman, young, youthful, and fond of ornaments, would be horrified, humiliated, and disgusted if the carcass of a snake or a dog or a human being were hung around his or her neck. Imagine a dead snake is hang on your head, hang on your neck. Then imagine a dead dog is kept on your shoulder, a rotten dog. What would you do? Immediately you will get away from that. You will throw it away and take a bath. Would you like to have a dead body on your shoulder? No. That's full of worms. Imagine this dead body is full of worms. Pus, then blood is oozing out. Do you like? No. In the same way, you should eradicate. You should understand the danger of thinking bad thoughts and abandon bad thoughts. Now Buddha preaches, suppose this person is unable to remove the bad thoughts by thinking the danger of maintaining bad thoughts, yet he is unable to eradicate bad thoughts. Then what should we do? See how compassionate the Buddha is. If one technique is not working, Buddha has taught another technique. The third technique is, children, the third method of removing unwholesome thoughts is, Buddha preaches like this. The next step is to ignore and forget about these thoughts, just as a person with good eyesight would close their eyes or look away upon seeing an undesirable sight. You should forget that. You should ignore that thought. Just like, imagine you see someone that you really do not like to see, then you close your eyes. Do you like to see demons, ghosts? Won't you close your eyes? You would close your eyes. So in the same way, we should try the third technique, that is not paying attention to that thought. Forgetting that thought. Just like you are closing eyes when you do not like to see something that you do not want to see. That's the third method. Imagine if the third method is also not working, what could we do? The fourth method is trying to figure out how this thought came to our mind. We should find out why I am suffering from this thought. From where did this thought come? Either from something seen from your eyes. This thought would arise because of something you have heard before. Or maybe because of something you have smelled before. Or maybe something because of something that you have tasted before or felt. Then you should find out, oh, this thought has come from something that I have seen from my eyes. Then you should think, okay, whatever I have seen from my eyes are impermanent. My eye is also impermanent. Then the consciousness of the eye is also impermanent. Then the contact in the eye, the combination of the eye forms and eye consciousness is also impermanent. Then whatever we feel from these things that we see from the eyes, the happiness that we experience from the things that we see from our eyes are also impermanent. Then when you think and understand the impermanence nature, the formation of this thought, you will think, oh, there's no point of developing these thoughts. Why? I am recollecting and multiplying these thoughts that were generated from impermanent things. Anything that you see are impermanent. Then the I is also impermanent. So if this I is also impermanent, if the forms are also impermanent, why should we recall these unnecessary things that are seen from these eyes? But you can think and you can recollect the good things that you see from your eyes. You can think of the Buddha. You can at least try to recall the Buddha's image. That is also good. You can try to recall a Bodhi tree. You can try to recall the Ruanali Mahastupa. You can recall great Arahants. So, the fourth method is trying to figure out how this thought was created. So when you go further back, how this thought was created, then you will understand, oh, this thought was created by thinking impermanent things with the formation of recollecting and with the formation of meeting of impermanent things. So when you think that, why should I think these thoughts which were created from impermanent things, then you will understand there's no point of recollecting these thoughts which were formed because of impermanent things and which are unbeneficial for my life, which will ruin this life and next life as well. Then those thoughts will be abandoned. Buddha teaches a simile for this. Now you can draw these similes, okay? You can draw these similes and send to us. Buddha preaches, just as a man walking fast might consider, why am I walking fast? What if I walk slowly? And he would walk slowly. Then he might consider, why am I walking slowly? What if I stand? And he would stand. Then he might consider, why am I standing? What if I sit? Then he would sit. Then he might consider, why am I sitting? What if I lie down? Then he would lie down. By doing so, he would substitute for each grosser posture one that was subtler. So too, when a bhikkhu gives attention to stilling the thought formation of those thoughts, his mind becomes steady internally and will become calm. Now, if these 4 steps, if these 4 methods are not working, what's the last solution? The last solution is this. Let's learn that also. Buddha preaches, if all these 4 techniques are not working for us, there's another method. Now, why do we use these methods, children? To remove the bad thoughts and maintain good thoughts. Buddha preaches like this. With his teeth clenched and his tongue pressed against the roof of his mouth, he beats down and constrains and crushes mind with mind. Any such evil, unwholesome thoughts are abandoned in him. So, the last method is you should clench your teeth and press your tongue to the roof of your mouth and then beat away and then abandon the thoughts in the mind. You should clench your teeth and then press your tongue to the roof of the mouth and then abandon the bad thoughts. That's the final technique. So don't try the last technique first. Try the first technique first. Okay? If worse come to worse, check and try the last technique of clenching the teeth, because your teeth are very small, not strong yet. So just like Kiana Dot has lost her teeth, you will also lose your teeth if you try to clench too much. So try the 4 other techniques and abandon your bad thoughts. Therefore, children, today we learn. So we couldn't learn the simile yet. The simile is for the last technique like this. So the Buddha preaches, as for the simile, just as a strong man might seize a weaker man by the head or shoulders and beat him down, constrain him and crush him, so too, when with his teeth clenched and his tongue pressed against the roof of his mouth, a bhikkhu beats down, constrained, and crushes mind with mind, and his mind becomes steadied. So just like a stronger man throws away a weaker man, you can abandon the bad thoughts. Children, so when you practice these 5 ways of eradicating bad thoughts, Buddha preaches like this. This bhikkhu who practices these 5 ways of abandoning bad thoughts is called a master of the causes of thought. You can become a master of handling your thoughts. Then he will think whatever thought he wishes to think, and he will not think any thought that he does not wish to think. Don't you like to have a mind like that? You only think what you wish to think, which is wholesome, but you will not think the thoughts that you do not wish to think. Then that person will eradicate craving, will flung off the fetters, and with the complete penetration of conceit, he has made an end of suffering. So if you like to end suffering forever, children, you can be 6 years old, you can be 7 years old or 8 years old, yet you can forget bad thoughts and think of good thoughts. The problem is, if we do not have mindfulness to recognize what we are thinking, we should always watch our mind, children. Just as we beautify ourselves, just as we always check the beauty of our face and the nature of our hairstyle, and we cut our nails, then we wash our clothes, we change clothes, we buy new pairs of shoes. If the shoes are broken, we buy new shoes. Always watch your mind in the same way. Watch your mind. Always see what kind of thoughts you are thinking. And then try to maintain a good thought by using these 5 techniques. So try to draw some pictures for this sermon, for these similes, and share your good deeds in the next program. Then we can talk more about eradicating bad thoughts in the next program, so we can live this life in a meaningful way. Namo Buddhaya, meritorious children. Now we are going to hear the meritorious deeds done by the children who are watching the Mirror of Dhamma program, who have continuously shared their good deeds with the Mirror of Dhamma program. So we can start with the first email sent by Kenuli Gihansa daughter from Saudi Arabia. She's living in a country where she don't see stupas, Buddha statues, no temples. So this daughter, she has a great thirst to learn the Buddha's teachings. She always helps her parents. She helps her parents, she helps her siblings. She has 2 brothers, and then she does her schoolwork very well, and also she learned Dhamma in English and Sinhala both, and she chant Parita. So this Kenulu Gihansa daughter is always talking to monks, and then asking questions from monks, sharing her good deeds and blessing the Sangha. So even she is living in a country where they don't see monks at all, and they don't get the chance to see monks, and even living in a country like that, yet she is following the Buddha's teachings with great interest. So let's read Kenuli daughter's good deed and her email. This is Kenuli Gihansa. I hope that Abu Hansa and all the other venerable monks and nuns are doing fine. May the blessings of the Triple Gems always be with all of you, and may all beings in the worlds live in peace, live happily, and may they realize the 4 noble truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Then, now she wants to share her merit. Swamin Wahansa, I wanted to tell Abba Wahansa about the meritorious deeds that we have done. Since my aunt is having an Angi, my brother and I always recite the Tun Sutra and Angulimala Paritta every night through the internet using Imo, and my father donated a few cement bags to build a chaitya in Kurunagala. So they have so these children, through the internet, they bless their auntie. Now other children, rather than spending time and chatting with your friends unnecessarily, you can bless your grandparents. Now most of the children who are listening to this Mirror of Dhamma program are living in overseas, living away from Sri Lanka. So you all can call your parents, call your relatives, call your grandparents in Sri Lanka and tell, Achi, listen for me for 5 minutes. I'm going to chant a Parita chanting. Maybe you can chant Mora Pirita, or Kanda Pirita, Angulimala Pirita, and say, Achi, I'm blessing you. May you be well and happy. May you have long life. Now for the next program, let's see who would do that. At least if 10 children can do that, I think it's worth conducting this program continuously. If children are not responding and if you all are not doing good deeds, we will have to think twice whether we are going to continue this program or not. So, the very simple homework I'm giving to you for the next week is bless your relatives and grandparents in Sri Lanka. Give them a call. Make a call and chant a short parita. Or else record a parita chanting and send to your relatives. Share what you learn with your relatives and then write to us. Write to Mirror of Dhamma program. The email address will appear in the screen. Write to this email address and then the Shraddha TV management will forward it to me. So what's the homework now? Blessing your relatives in Sri Lanka. The ones who are living in Sri Lanka, the kids who are listening to this program, the kids who are living in Sri Lanka, if they have friends in other countries, they can call them and chant a parit and bless them. So, and their parents, their father, Kennedy daughter's father has donated some cement bags to build a stupa. Chaiti is a stupa. Stupa is a place where you enshrine the Buddha's relics. You know, there was one grandmother during the Supreme Buddha's time. After the Supreme Buddha's passing away, when she was walking in the road, she saw a stupa far away. And then she saw a flower in the roadside. It was not a special flower. These flowers are just grown along the roadside, not specially planted by the government or by the people. She plucked one of those flowers, and then when she was on her way to that stupa, to offer that flower to that stupa, she was killed. She was knocked by a bull and she died. So even she did not offer that flower to the stupa, yet she was born among devas and she received a golden mansion. So just imagine, even without offering a flower, just having a thought of offering a flower to a stupa, if a person can be born in a divine world. Imagine if someone can help to build a stupa, how much merit that person would gain. Why, millions, thousands of people, millions of people will worship over years. Now these days, our teacher, most venerable, Avasarai Kiribadgoda Jnanananda Mahathera, Pingat Lokasamin Wahanse, has built a wonderful stupa for Arahant Angulimala to enshrine the relics of Arahant Angulimala. So children, if you all can donate for Arahant Angulimala stupa to complete the other construction around the stupa, that merit will be immeasurable. By making merit, by donating for that construction work around the Angulimala stupa in Bovata Mahamana Buddhist monastery, by helping to complete that construction, you can think, by helping a great stupa, by helping to make a great stupa that is made for Arahant Angulimala, who was free from lust, anger and delusion, who has lot of energy, who had a purified mind, who blessed expectant mothers, who blessed lot of people, who had lot of loving kindness, who gave up evil very fast. So by helping to a great stupa like that, we can think by this great merit, by donating and by helping to make that stupa and by helping to complete all the other constructions around the stupa, may I also be able to abandon evil as soon as possible, just like Arahant Angulimala did, by those great blessings, by helping to complete that construction, we can think, may I also have the opportunity to purify my mind as soon as possible. So now you will get the chance to watch a video about Arahant Angulimala Maha Stupa. So it's done by us. We do a small explanation about Arahant Angulimala Stupa in Bovatta. So watch that video, and then after that, the Shraddha TV, the video editors will provide you the details to make donations to the Angulimala Stupa construction, and also the other construction that should be done in that premises. So that's a great merit. Now let's watch the video about Arahant Angulimala Stupa. Namo Buddhaya. Meritorious Dhamma friends, if you are regretting for the bad deeds you have done, if you remember the bad deeds you have done, if you remember again and again the bad deeds you have done, what can we do now? There is a refuge, don't worry. You can recollect a great person who has abandoned remorse and regret forever and achieved a purified mind. That was our Arahant Angulimala Mahathera. Arahant Angulimala Mahathera killed beings, but later he purified his mind by following the Noble Eightfold Path. He was born from the Buddha's teachings, he was born from the Buddha's heart, and he was born to the Sangha. Later, being tamed by the Buddha's truth, by the power of the truthfulness, he tamed other beings by the power of truthfulness. So for us to gain happiness and to become truthful, there's an enormous chance, there's a great opportunity for us to build a huge stupa with the great blessings of our teacher, and under the guidance of our teacher, Most Venerable Kiribadgoda Jnanamanda Mahathera, our teacher, a huge stupa is already being built at our Mahamevunava Bovatta Buddhist Monastery. That huge stupa was built to Arahant Angulimala Mahathera. Still there's things to be done in that premises. There are other constructions to be completed around the stupa, and there are things to be completed in the stupa. So still there's a chance for you all to go to Mahamevunava Buddhist Monastery at Bovatta and gain merit by doing chores, by donating for the constructions, and gain merits to your lives. Arahant Angulimala in previous lives, not only in the last life he killed human beings, even in previous lives he killed human beings. Once in previous lives, Arahant Angulimala tried to kill the Bodhisattva even, but then by the power of the truthfulness of the Bodhisattva, our Angulimala, who was Bodhisattva in the previous life, was tamed. In the same way, in the last life, Arahant Angulimala was tamed by the truthfulness of the Buddha. And Arahant Angulimala tamed others by the power of truthfulness. So for us to become truthful, for us to abstain from telling lies, for us to attain Nibbana, we have a great opportunity now, that is to help to complete the Arahant Angulimala Mahastupa, and also to help to complete the other constructions around the Arahant Angulimala Mahastupa. So now you have a chance to go and do chores around Arahant Angulimala Stupa in that compound and donate in many ways, and to make this successful and to make this meritorious event successful and gain happiness for our lives, and take part in this rare opportunity and develop our lives to a great extent and achieve happiness, that is the ultimate bliss of Nibbana in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Namo Buddhaya. So that's the Arahant Angulimala Stupa video. Now the donation details will appear. You can get those details, and then even a small donation doesn't matter, children. What we need is a wholesome thought. If that grandmother just plucked a flower and walked towards the stupa, and even she was unable to go to the stupa, yet she was born among the devas after she died. So if we can even donate, it doesn't matter. You can tell your friends in Sri Lanka, you can tell your relatives in Sri Lanka about this stupa construction. So if you can't remit money from there, you can tell your friends in Sri Lanka, you can tell your relatives in Sri Lanka to donate as much as possible. So children, so you can get together and then You can get together with, if imagine from Dhamma school kids from England, you all can get together. The kids from Australia can get together and help the stupa. So talk about Arahant Angulimala stupa. These days, discuss about Arahant Angulimala. Share Dhamma content about Arahant Angulimala and uplift the Arahant Angulimala stupa. Let other people know about Arahant Angulimala stupa. Write to us about Arahant Angulimala. Learn about Arahant Angulimala from Arahant Angulimala's Theravada. Learn the Arahant Angulimala Sutta. And then always think of Arahant Angulimala these days. So by discussing about Arahant Angulimala and about the Arahant Angulimala Stupa and its construction, that will help us to finish that wonderful offering done to Arahant Angulimala. So now let us continue sharing the emails sent by Kenuli daughter. There were some of the good deeds we have done, and by the power of this merit may all the monks and nuns of the Mahavina monastery, especially our most venerable Lokaswamin Vahansa, all the monks and nuns all over the world, all of our Dhamma friends and other people, the ones who are suffering or infected by the pandemic, the ones who are suffering physically or mentally, people who are fighting over death and life, live long and happily, and may they live peacefully, and all the people suffering overcome it, and may all beings in all worlds live happily, peacefully, and may they realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now there's another question. Today the Q&A and good deeds will be in one section. Swamin Wahansa, I am a student counselor or prefect at my school. I have leadership at my school for my fellow peers. May I ask, what did Buddha say about being a good leader, and how can I be a good leader to my peers? What types of qualities must I possess to become a good leader? Very good. To become a good leader. Now, how did Buddha become a good leader? The Buddha eradicated lust, anger and delusion forever. So what you should do is, you should also try to eradicate your lust, anger and delusion by practicing loving kindness meditation, by practicing Asubha meditation, then by practicing, by learning about the cause and effect theory, and by developing wisdom, you can abandon delusion. So there are other 4 things that you should be very careful. Now when you help your friends in school, when you are given a responsibility, you might have friends that you would like and friends that you would not like. Not friends like children that you would not like. So even towards those friends who like, and even towards those children that you do not like, you should have the same mind. It's like this. You should be concerned with 4 things. So you should not go to an extreme for the friends that you like. Chanda. So you should not only help the ones that you like. You should not go to an extreme towards the friend that you like when you help them. And then you should not go to an extreme with anger. Now, towards the people that you do not like, towards the children that you do not like, you might get angry, but not with the friends that you like. Even if a friend of yours that whom you really like and whom you are really close to, even if that person does something bad, you should correct her or him. And then you should have a neutral mind. So even if a close friend does something bad, even if a child that you do not know at all, and even if you do not like, even if a child that you do not like does something bad, you should have the same mind, just as you show towards a friend does something bad in the school. So even towards a friend who does something bad, and even towards a friend, even towards a child that who is not a friend, and even towards a child who does bad deeds, to both of those children you should have the same mind. Is it clear? Okay. And then towards some children, because of fear, you should not go to an extreme from fear. So some friends might be very fearful. So just because you are scared of them, you shouldn't give up correcting them. If you can't correct them, you should tell your teachers, your senior teachers, to correct them. Now the other extreme that you could go is, you might go to an extreme with delusion. Don't go to an extreme with delusion. So delusion means you don't know about this life, you don't know about next life. So take decisions by knowing about samsara. So when you know about samsara, you will know about karma, and then you will know the consequences of good karma and bad karma. So when you make decisions, when you have to take care of your friends and your children in the school, try not to go to an extreme with special desires to your friends, and with hatred or with fear or with delusion. Chanda, dvesha, bhaya, moha. Don't go to an extreme towards these things and take decisions. Take decisions without getting attached to your friends, without getting angry, without getting scared to your friends, and without and also make decisions knowing that those decisions will give you results in future. When you make decisions, it should be good decisions but not bad decisions, because when you are not going to an extreme in delusion, you will not accumulate a bad karma. So when you take decisions like this, your reputation will grow very well. Your reputation will grow like the full moon. It will grow like a moon that increases in size. But if you does not take decisions in a proper way, that it's like the moon that decreases in size. So the one who take decisions without getting overwhelmed with desires towards friends, special favoration towards friends, and without getting angry, without having fear, and without having illusion, they are born among devas. So this responsibility that you have got to to be a leader to your friends, that responsibility can lead you to a divine world and to increase your reputation, to increase your good reputation. So that's the answer for Netulu Kannangara daughter's question. Then once again, our Kennedy daughter has shared some merit with us. Now, Bante, I would like to share some of the good deeds I have done. Due to this coronavirus situation, our school couldn't receive any books for the next academic year. Poor thing. So my maths teacher asked if I could scan my old grade 6 textbook for the next 6th graders and send it to her. And then my father and I scanned the first chapter of my old maths textbook and sent it to my teacher. My mom found a link to the textbook online and sent it to my teacher. And my teacher could start teaching the 6th class. My teacher was relieved and happy and was very thankful. My parents and I were very happy. Some of my friends who have heard of this deed also rejoice in it. Very good friends. And since we are planning to come back to our Pingmat country, to our motherland, Sri Lanka, we will start our own vegetable garden as Lokusami Nasa has requested. And we will also grow some flowers, plants as well to offer to the Supreme Buddha. We will also have a Buddha Madura in our new home in Sri Lanka. And we promise to visit the Mahavina monastery and clean it and also offer dana to Mahasangha. Good daughter, good intentions. Swaminas, I wanted to ask Obahansa some questions. According to the Dhamma, animals are in the Tirisan Loka, right? Yes, animals belong to the animal world, Tirsangapaya. Then what about dinosaurs? They are also animals. Were they also humans in their past lives? Or is this something very different? Now, has dinosaurs exist in this world? Imagine there was an animal called dinosaur. If there was an animal exist in this world as dinosaurs, they also belong to animals. And all the living beings had a past life. All the living beings had a past life, and they would have been born as humans and mistaken their lives and become evil animals who are killing others. So please explain this to me. I would like to know the answer. Any animal would fall into the animal world. So there are animals in divine worlds as well, but yet they also fall to the animal world. Okay. Now there's another email. My younger brother Vibodha has made a video about Arahan Mahinda and Arahan Mahinda's Gatha. He would like to share this video in the Saturday Children's English program, Mirror of Dhamma. Please, if you could share this video in the program so that others can also rejoice in this merit. Okay. Let's watch Vibodha Son's video about Arahan Mahinda.
Namo Buddhaya. My name is Vibodha and I'm currently a student at Melbourne Mahamirnawa Dhamma School. Today I will be preaching the Mahamahinda Gatha. All of us should be grateful for the Venerable Mihida Mahatanohanse as he gave the most wonderful gift to Sri Lanka, which was Buddhism. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Yo sattu kappo kalyana mitto mahanyani janatrajo solankadipamagam jyotiye buddha sasanan tanvitaragan dipapasadakan vandami parinibbuta mahamahindan sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya.
Now there's another email. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu. I am Savi Haputantri from Melbourne, Australia. I draw this picture of Sri Mahabodhi tree in Anuradhapura, Sri Lanka. Now you all can see what he has drawn. I visited Anuradhapura last year and sat under the Bodhi tree. It was so peaceful and calming. I remember the calming sound of the leaves and it makes me happy. Very good, Putta. Rather than thinking and pondering about these evil things happen in the past, it's good that you are recollecting good things happen in the past. So our Supreme Buddha got enlightened under the Bodhi tree and pay homage to the tree. Our Blessed One taught us the importance of gratitude by example. I think it is such an important quality to cultivate in our lives. Obviously, great Putta, the way you think. Very true. I draw this picture to pay my homage to the Sri Mahabodhi tree. I like to share the merit with all the Devas and Brahmas, being with Lokaswamin Mahansa and all the Swamin Mahansas of Mahamevunava, all the monks and nuns all around the world, my grandparents, my parents, and all the Dhamma friends around the world. So Savi Putta is blessing everyone in this world. So may everyone have the opportunity to share, to rejoice in all these good deeds and realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Dear children, today's program is sponsored by the parents of daughter Muni Munusingha, who is celebrating her 8th birthday on July 21st. So let us share merit with all the gods, with Sahampati Brahmaraja and with God Sakka and with the 4 great kings and with all the other gods who are helping us to practice this Dhamma and helping us in many other ways. So may all the Devas, Brahmas rejoice in this merit, and may they develop in faith, virtue, may they develop in the Buddha's teachings, and may they develop effort and wisdom, and may they help us to realize the Four Noble Truths, and may all these gods realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear children, when we share merit with gods, they help us in return. Just like a mother cares her children, we will be protected by Devas when we share merit with Devas. So, this sharing of merit session is not a small thing. Don't take it as simple. Sharing of merit will show a great quality. Sharing of merit is a great quality that is developed to develop your gratefulness. So if you would like to be grateful, if you would like to develop gratefulness, you can share merit with devas, with your parents, with your friends, with monks and nuns who help you in life. And you can bless other people with the merit that you accumulate in life. So, and they are hoping to share merit with their departed father, Don Monasingh, and all departed relatives. So, may all the departed relatives of Miuni daughter and her younger sister Nilusha, and may all their departed relatives, may all the departed relatives of all of us rejoice in this merit, rejoice in this merit, rejoice in this merit, and may they be well and happy, and may they escape from suffering as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And let us share merit with our teacher, with our Kalyana Mitra, with our Pingvat Loka Swamin Wahanse, and also with the other monks and nuns in Mahamena Buddhist monasteries and all over the world. So may our Loka Swamin Wahanse, may all the other monks and nuns in Mahamena Buddhist monastery and all over the world be well and happy, be well and happy, be well and happy. May all their good thoughts come true and realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And let us share merit with this wonderful family who sponsored for the today's program. That is the parents of daughter Miuni Munasinghe and Nilusha Munasinghe's parents. So may Madhavi and Aruna Munasinghe, the parents of Miuni, be well and happy. And may Miuni Dua, who is celebrating her 8th birthday on July 21st, be well and happy, and her younger sister Nilusha. So may all of them. And they are hoping to wish good health to Mahanuvara Nirasha Manio, and pass merits to all members of the family in UK, Sri Lanka, Australia, New Zealand, Middle East, and Malaysia. So they have relatives and friends all over the world. So may all of them who's watching this Mirror of Dhamma program be well and happy, have happiness, have long life, have well-being, develop in faith, develop in wisdom, and may all of them realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear children, now see the value of sponsoring for a program like this. When you sponsor for a Dhamma program like this, after you sponsor, you can tell your friends, your relatives to watch that program. It could be for your birthday, you might sponsor for a program like this. It could be to share merit with your grandparents who are very old, to bless your grandparents. And also you can bless your friends as well. Rather than buying unnecessary gifts, you can get together with all your friends in your classroom, in the Dhamma school, and bless your friends each other. And bless your friends and gain merit. So this is how we should bless each other, by accumulating a lot of merit for our life and share those merit with others and bless others with great merit. So today this wonderful family gain a lot of merit, and even I too rejoice in this meritorious deed of sponsoring for this program, to broadcast this program to the whole world. So may all of us realize the Four Noble Truths and do good deeds like this again and again, and gain a lot of merits for our lives before we die, and gain a highest blessing, gain the ultimate blessing for our lives, for this life and next life, and to realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya.